You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, it's time for our weekly prediction edition. Not Abby is what I'm calling her. I think she is going to frustrate Chad, and we're also going to see Fiona Cook going way too far. As always, our predictions are based on official NBC soap opera spoilers. And of course, it's me, Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us already, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our updates. We have got predictions for Abigail and Chad. I've got Abigail in air quotes. Bonnie and Hattie, Fiona and Xander and Sarah, Stephanie and Alex, and also for Connie and Jada. Let's dive into our very first prediction. This Abigail person, she's calling herself Marin, but, you know, she's been set up to seem like she's Abigail. She says she's not Abby, but is she deluded? Is she really Abigail and just doesn't know it? So on Friday, the 2nd, we had Jack and Chad kicking in this door of a building, and then we just see these shocked looks on their faces, but they are not going to find this not Abby woman. They're going to find somebody else entirely. And it sounds like from spoilers that they run into her on Thursday, August 8th instead. Jack and Chad spot a woman eavesdropping on them. And then in this week's promo, the three of them are talking, Jack, Chad, and not Abby. And they tell her who they think she is, and she denies being Abigail. I believe she's going to be calling herself Marin. That's what we've been told. But is this really recast Abby? And she's been gaslit into doubting her real identity, or is it a very soapy tale of twins and doppelgangers? We'll find out soon. Our second prediction, Bonnie Lockhart Kiriakis may want a role on Body and Soul with her best pal, Hattie Adams. So we saw last week that Hattie showed up to the Body and Soul audition, which is great because she's a dead ringer for Marlena, who is a dead ringer for one of the stars of Abe's soap opera. She got the part. And then in the promo, we see Bonnie walking up on Hattie at the pub as Hattie is reading a line from her Body and Soul script about asking someone to kill her husband. Is she married to Thrust Manning? I know Thrust was a big guy on this. So I just wonder if Bonnie is going to be jealous. I've seen a spoiler photo of Bonnie and Hattie taking a smiling selfie together. And this goes down Wednesday, August 7th at the pub when the two ladies are together. I just wonder if Bonnie is going to ask Hattie, do you think you can get me an audition? Or if Hattie might even offer to talk to Kate and Abe because she thinks it'd be a hoot to have her best friend working on the soap with her. It would kind of be interesting if they had Bonnie take on the part that Kayla Brady / Mary Beth Evans played on Body and Soul. Not because they look that much alike, but, you know, blondes of an age. I think it's a likely recast possibility. We'll see. Bonnie doesn't have a lot to do, you know, and it would certainly be fun to see her and Hattie around at least for a minute. Our third prediction, Fiona Cook may try and stop this third wedding attempt of Sarah and Xander's, or their third wedding. I mean, they've had at least two. Is that right? So on Wednesday, August 7th, Xander and Sarah get a wedding do-over. I'm hoping it's going to be at the Kiriakis mansion. We'll wait and see. But I'm wondering if Fiona Cook is going to show up to derail it again, because she already told Sarah she does not think it's a good time for her son to be getting married. She insists she's in town just for him, not for his money. But she thinks just with all the upheaval of him finding out that he is Victor's son, he needs time to process it. He shouldn't be rushing into something. And that's when Sarah laid into her and basically said, there's no rush. We have been in love a long time. We have a daughter. We are happy. This is not a situation where, you know, he's gotten money and then she's like, ooh, money. You know, she's a successful doctor and she fell for him when he was, you know, penniless, hunky, but penniless. So I just wonder if Fiona is going to try and get her way with this, or if she's going to be too busy with Brady Black, because that same day on Wednesday, Brady and Fiona agree to keep a secret. And in the promo, we see Brady making out with Fiona and them hitting the sheets. So maybe they do the deed the night before Xander and Sarah's wedding, and Mama Cook sobers up and comes over there to stir the pot. Our fourth prediction, Stephanie and Alex comfort each other, and maybe it turns into something. Stephanie is quite upset that Everett is dead and that he declared love for her on his literal deathbed. And she is back in the apartment across the hall from Alex Kiriakis, who has moved out of the mansion and back into his old apartment, which has got to be painful because that's where he was living with Teresa while she was completely snowing and manipulating him. Alex has a really rough week ahead. On Monday, August 5th, we have Alex doing some boozy bonding with Brady over at the pub over Teresa trashing both of their lives. On Tuesday, August 6th, we have Alex and Stephanie at the apartment building doing some cleanup. But before that, the two are talking at the pub, and she admits to him that Everett died. He's completely shocked. Obviously, she's still distraught. On Friday, August 9th, the official spoilers say that Alex tries to move on from the hurt that Teresa caused him with help from Stephanie. I mean, hopefully those two are mutually consoling each other. Alex, you know, his wife, I mean, I guess they're the process of getting annulled. His wife did him dirty, but she is still alive. But Alex might feel better if she weren't alive. And for Stephanie, it's complicated because Bobby took over. He lied. He said he was Everett and he dumped her. So maybe she's regretting believing him instead of sticking around to help him, thinking that she could have saved him. Right now, they think it's suicide, but obviously doubts are going to come up about that. Speaking of that, our fifth and final prediction, Connie Viniski made a mistake and Jada may be hot on her homicidal heels. We have crazy Connie just pretty smug. She's living in the same apartment where she murdered the object of her obsession, Lee Shen. She is working for Gabby, the woman she framed for the crime, and she has now seemingly successfully framed Ever Bobby for Rafe's stabbing, making, you know, the whole note about him wanting Jada, and then she left the gloves. She did the suicide note, the bottle of pills. But as clever as she thinks it is, I'm not sure if it's going to stick. There's some problems. She made some mistakes. First of all, I wonder if Connie put the same drug in his coffee as the bottle she left at his bedside. Just from a, you know, hypochondriac's perspective, that's me. The bottle of pills on the bedside table were oxys, oxycodone, Oxycontin, something like that, which are very strong opioids, no doubt. But she put some drug in his coffee, and that's what killed him. And I would think if you put enough oxycodone in my morning latte, I would taste it. I would taste it no matter how bad the coffee was. And when Jada was asking him, how many of these did you take? He had the mental wherewithal to say, I didn't take any. So I'm hoping Jada is going to order an autopsy that would show it was poison and not an overdose, or an overdose but not what was in the bottle. We'll see. Also, what is the date and time stamp on that suicide note that was on his computer? Even if she didn't save it to his hard drive, it auto-saves, as we all know. Right before he died, while she was typing that note, Bobby was over at the Salem Police Department getting grilled by Jada to, you know, pushing him to tell her who killed Lee, who stabbed Rafe, and then he got sick and he staggered off. So that timeline shouldn't align with the time that the document was saved, because it wouldn't align to before he went to the Salem PD or after. Jada is already skeptical next week. In the promo spoilers, we see her telling Paulina that there's a suicide note, there's these bloody gloves. It's almost tied up too neatly. But if Connie Viniski is going to stick around killing superfluous people, I just want to know if she can stop by and see maybe Sophia. I have a list of some people that she could just clean out of Salem. If Gwen comes back, she could just take her out. Maybe she can even kill Body and Soul before it gets off the ground, because I feel like that might be a train wreck. We'll see. I mean, if you had a serial killer wish list, who would you like to see Connie take out before she's taken down? Thank you so much for listening. Those are all of our predictions. Please drop your comments, subscribe if you haven't. Come back soon. We're here talking Days of Our Lives 7 days a week. And as always, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.